good morning, and what is up, Buttercups? It is Amy and Jarrod, my love. Mwah. We are coming to you, and what today is today? Thursday morning, right? Yes, and look, check this out. Check out the cool shirt. This is one. Here, put your arms down. Exercise. I thought you meant extra fries. And he's off. Jay, come here. I want to show you something. Look what we got on today, people. We got our new shoes on today. Look how handsome. Is rocking his outfit with his new shoes on. And, yeah. Mommy did not do anything yesterday. I actually took a day off of vlogging. I did not film anything at all. No intro, no exit, no nothing. Wednesday was my off day. Had some problems yesterday. I didn't even go into work yesterday. I was not feeling good. Jarrod went to school, and literally right after school I went and lay back down. My legs, my feet, and just like my whole body was just unbelievably in pain yesterday. It's one of them days where you felt like every joint in your body just had its own heartbeat, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I ended up actually calling out of work, which I very rarely do. The only time I usually end up calling work is something to do with him, if he's sick or something. But, yeah, Mommy needed a health day yesterday, that's for sure. I could use another one today, but I can't afford to take off. So, yeah, gonna hopefully get through the day and not gonna be suffering too much. I got to remember to call this foot doctor this afternoon and try to get an appointment lined up soon, hopefully. I'm actually thinking if I can get an appointment the same day his med check is, that would be ideal. You know, that way I can knock out two birds with one stone, but I don't know how quickly I can get a doctor's appointment like that for my feet. Yeah, so that's going to be the morning. We got our shelves gearing. We're just all dressed and rocking and ready to go. So, just, I guess we'll head to the car and wait for this bus to come. Hey guys, alright, so we are in the car waiting for the bus to get here. It's about 6:30 on the dot, just turned. So hopefully the bus will be here soon. It's little man. What be the rules? And we use our, not our.
Yeah.
And there is no.
Yeah.
And no, and no, and we keep our
back
vest. Very, very, very good. Yes, so, yeah, so, just go wait for the bus to get here and get the work day started. I am just praying I'm going to make it through the day. I mean, my feet, oh, God, I got to do something with my feet. I don't know what the hell is going on with them, but it's getting to the point where difficult walking, difficult sitting, difficult sleeping. I mean, it doesn't even matter if I'm on my feet or not. They just hurt constantly. And, I mean, I know definitely a portion of that, like the tingling and stuff, according to my rheumatologist, she thinks it's more has to do with my spinal issues. But I'm telling you, the other stuff, I don't know, it has to be due to, like, just the bad shape my feet are in. I'm, like, with the arthritis that I have, one of the symptoms, I guess you could call it, or side effects of having RA, a lot of people will get what's called swan fingers, and usually it's like the joints are bent straight, and then like the tip will bend in, like, I can't even do it if I wanted to, but yeah, it's kind of like swan fingers. They straighten and the tips bend over. Well, I never, thank God, never had that problem with my hands. The only problem I have with one hand is this one here. The finger, but that doesn't really affect too much. But my feet, on the other hand, instead of it hitting my hands, it has managed to hit my feet. And especially on my left foot, when I go to walk, I tendency to walk on the side of my foot like this because I have no arches in my feet. And believe me, I've tried arching soles and all that, and anything, all it does is just give me blisters at that point. So, yeah, my next option would be to go back to get my toes broken and straightened. I don't know how I feel about that. And I'd have to find out what a recovery time would be on that. But the last two toes, my pinky and ring toe on my left foot, I'm noticing it's starting to do this, and it's starting, like, they're starting to curl under, and I'm like stepping actually on the top of my toes, and yeah, it's painful, and I try like hardest to try to keep the toes straight if I can, but they just don't want to stay straight. I was even contemplating maybe doing the taping thing, because my rheumatologist suggested that getting some hospital tape and like to straighten them out, like tape them together, so that way that they kind of like stay straightened out. I don't know, I might try that and see how that works, but the reason for that I walk so weird to begin with is because also on the bombs of my feet I have like bone spurs and stuff like that, and to walk on the bone spurs, it's like trying to walk on marbles in bare feet, you know, it's like really, it's painful. So, yeah, I try to modify the way I walk around, and I guess this is the end result. So, yeah, so that's my sob story for the day. I'm just hoping I'll make it through the day. And it just, I got to make sure I try to give this give one of these foot doctors a call to schedule something, because I got to get in there to have them look at my tootsies. So yeah, but other than that, still waiting for the bus. It's like 6:34, 35 right now going on. Yeah, we're still late, so whatever. And yesterday I went to the dollar store. One thing, I got me some new reading glasses. Look how fresh looking these glasses are. Are they not cool or what? Cool and pink. Check them out. Yeah, same script, different frames, you know. So basically at this point I can't afford red glasses, so I have to go to the dollar store, and I'll get like 4 or 5 pairs, and I'll have them laying around the house, and that way, you know, if I need them at any point, they're there, you know. So and man, what is our itchy ears over here? I just did your ears this morning. I cleaned them. They shouldn't be itchy, dude. Shouldn't have itchy ears. Probably just cleaned your ears. Yeah, if you notice, we're still having a few issues with the pinching ourselves. We had some cuts on our face and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's always something. So, now we're going to get this bus going, and hopefully I will be off to get to work soon. Hey, guys. Alright, so I stopped at the Wawa. Get my coffee. And I've been noticing it's a lot easier to deal with Wawa in the morning, believe it or not, than it is to deal with Dunkin' Donuts. I'm in and out, they're usually a lot quicker. What's really, really cool, Wawa has their own app too, that you can order ahead of time and stuff. And I had it down pat, I did the order, but then realized I had to ask somebody, but they told me I ordered from the wrong store. So, because we have a couple Wawas around here, I didn't realize the address had switched up on the app. So now it's all fixed, so next time I go to do the pre-order thing, I'll be able to do it, and it'll be correct at this time. But even so, even with like the little flubble in there or whatever with that, you know, I'm still able to get in and out of there pretty darn quick, so can't really complain. So yeah, now we're just going to get this day started, get to work and all that great stuff, and see where the day takes us. Hey guys, oh my goodness, so I've done my day of work. Good golly, it is so hot out. I mean, we've gone from one extreme to the next. The other day, it was like 50 degrees out. Today, it's high of 91. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding. So, yeah. So now I'm just sweating my hiney off right now. We got a meeting with Dr. Dave and Mr. Matt tonight. And, yeah. So we're going to see how the rest of the afternoon takes us. I don't know. Got another plant for my, for my shepherd's hook out front. We got that. This is actually a plant, but it actually almost looks like an evergreen. It's really cool. So I'm kind of wondering how long, it'll last longer, or, you know. I'm not even sure what kind of flower it is, to be honest with you. I gotta look at them. I think they look like snapdragons to me, but I don't think that's it. But they're really, really pretty flowers that are on it. So it should be interesting to see what they look like in full bloom and all. So, yeah. So I'm heading out of here now. Getting home where it's nice and cool and getting changed. Hey, good morning. What is up, buttercups? It is Amy and Jarrod Love. And little man's going through it this morning. You start with the pinching, and as soon as I tell him to stop, he ends up having a meltdown.
I'm sorry. My mom did it.
We got to get out of this mood when people tell him no or stop to get himself all twisted up about it. He needs to learn. I don't know how. I'm going to teach him, but he's got to learn. No. Jay. Dude, you need to chill, dude. What's the rules?
No hitting. What did he say? Quarantine. Sing on the bus.
And we use our.
Where?
Not our.
Yeah.
And there is no.
Right here.
And no.
You can't.
And no.
In the hair.
And we keep our.
Hannah.
And our.
That.
Yes, very good. Why are we shaking? This is like a reaction he has. He starts doing this shaking thing and like gets himself all twisted up.
Now,
Jay, relax. Relax. Good gracious. Yeah, definitely no allergy season's kicking in. Look at my window.
No.
That is all dried up pollen on my window. Crazy. Got it on the back window too. I gotta go scrape it off. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
Wave.
Bye, Bye.
You can wave if you want. Ugh. Wow. That pollen is horrible.
I think they're gonna find the new body. Then I. And you Sunday. Was morning and it's already started to find this sound. Yeah. It is I'm gonna do someone to do safe party. What's morning when you guys are going to do this stuff? Yes, I don't want the song when it's so funny. When you guys want a song when it's a song. We're not gonna song when it's so funny. Come on, Jarrod. Come on, Luciano.
Boy, you just going through it and you ain't you? Ouch. I was hitting my head. Ow. Right. Well, as you could tell from some of the filming I just did, how we got ourselves a little agitated this morning. So...
Thank you. How to?
Gotta stop.
Thank you. Bye.
I don't know how to stop it, but
thank you. Bye. What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with
look at that. That's just pollen. It's like,
good.
I mean, I'm scraping it off the windows. It's like horrible. I'll be honest with you. I am actually rather shocked that I'm not gagging and he's not gagging right now with all the pollen that's floating in. I mean, you should see it. It's like you could actually see it in. Like, you can't see it with a camera, unfortunately. I wish I could show it to you. But it's like actually like just sticking to everything. It's just horrible. Ugh. But You alright, dude?
Oh, yeah. Now.
It's weird. I still have not managed to be able to teach this child really how to blow his nose. This has been an ongoing dilemma since he was little. I mean, he's 16 years old and I gotta dig boogies out of his nose. It's ridiculous. But the reason we gotta dig the boogies out, here, put your head up. The reason we gotta dig boogies out because we have issues with nosebleeds and stuff. And if I don't dig them out, he digs them out, and usually it starts his nose with a really bad nosebleed. He's always been very prone to nosebleeds in the mornings and stuff like that, especially allergy season when that hits and all that. But for some reason, I can't get this kid to blow his own nose. He has such a hard time getting the concept of it, like to sit there and like blow out through the nose. And we tried so many different things. We tried like see if he could blow bubbles in water and stuff like that. Nothing. So yeah, so anyone's got a good suggestion to teach him how to blow his nose, yeah, comment below. I could always use the additional help. Okay. Little things like that, you know, like it's funny because he the most simplest things like blowing your nose and wiping your tush after you go to the bathroom and stuff like that. The most basic hair things he has difficulty with. But if you give him a list of 3-4 things to do, like chore-wise in the house, he's boop, 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 in no problems. You don't have to keep up after him. So, I don't know. I don't get it. So, hopefully that'll be one of the things on the chopping block. Yesterday, Dr. Dave came over. He was his normal strong personality self. You know, we were chatting and everything, and I was showing him this chart that I made up. I'll have to show it later on. I actually made up an Excel spreadsheet to kind of like document behaviors. With a lot of temporary staff supports do, the TSS workers like Matthew that comes over to help him, usually they'll use a format. It'll be just an Excel spreadsheet. And it'll be in increments of every 15 minutes. Like Matt is here, we'll just say from 3 to 5. So we would do increments of 3, 3:15, 3:30, and so on until 5 o'clock. In those 15-minute intervals, we document how many self-injurious behaviors that we're seeing, whether it be cheek pulling, hair pulling, smacking ourselves, anything of that along that line whatsoever. Just like little tally marks, you know. And then at the end of that 15 minutes, you start the next 15 minutes if he keeps going. If there's no behaviors in those 15 minutes, you just put a little 0 in that 15 minutes. And then we kind of calculate it at the end and send it over to Dr. Dave. So the idea of it is to kind of get an idea of like when we experience these problems the most and like what the triggers are, and like after we do the tally marks, we find out there's like a space next to it, what were we doing at that time, what was the intervention, what was the outcome, you know, real basic, you know. Most of the time it's just telling him to stop, you know, stop pinching, stop hitting, you know, stuff like that, and he'll stop for a minute, but then we go right back to it again. I developed a thing where we sit on mommy's bed for every time we pinch. We end up pinching, he gets 5 minutes on the bed to sit down, and he has to chill out. And he has to do it pinch free. So a lot of times when he comes in to sit on my bed, we start whining and crying and hissy fitting because we're sitting in timeout kind of a thing. And we end up accelerating the behaviors more than stopping them sometimes. So it's kind of like almost one of those things where you have to kind of pick your own battles. That sounds weird. But yeah, so we were going over those charts and he was immensely thrilled. He was like, wow, he's like, you're doing my job for me. But you know what, like I've done this. I've done this for a while, and not just with my son. I mean, like my educational background, I actually have an associate's degree in behavioral health and human services. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration and other stuff. And I also have an associate's degree in liberal arts because I accumulated so many credits that they had to split it 2 degrees. It was weird. I was like one of those lifetime students, so when I was taking my associate's degrees, I was just taking classes left and right with not even like calculating what went to a degree or not. I just was grabbing up classes every time I saw them. Well, the majority of my classes at the time was when we were just dealing with a new diagnosis with him. So in essence, I was kind of killing two birds with one stone. I was gaining the experience professionally and personally. You know, I was helping him out, and it was giving me a better, clearer idea of, like, you know, how to deal with things and stuff like that. Granted, this was back in 2002, 2003. So we're talking, this was like 10, 15 years ago, you know, 15 plus years ago. A lot has changed since then. A lot of interventions have changed since then. And I've always managed to just keep up on stuff. And I'm one of those weirdos that get emails from like the Autism Research Institute and like Autism Speaks and all that. Some of the companies, the donating companies like Autism Speaks and Autism Awareness and all, very, very good intentions, but sometimes the information is not 100% accurate that they provide sometimes, and you have to do your research. That's basically what it comes down to. You know, research is the biggest thing with this diagnosis, I find. This is just in my personal opinion. For me, I've always looked at Jarrod's condition or issues as being a side effect more than a diagnosis itself, if that makes sense. In other words, like, you know, we've always kind of like put a band-aid on the cut, but we never stitched it up type of a thing. And right now, with the never stitching it up part, that's what part of these meltdowns, I think, are occurred to. That's in one sense where I think my aunt was completely right. You know, we have yesed him his whole life, you know, and say, oh, it's okay. And we coddled him a little bit and stuff like that. I didn't do a lot of the coddling, but DAD did a lot of it. Like, you know, I mean, right up until the last few months, we were baby talking him still and stuff like that. I don't talk to him like that. So I think in a sense that might be getting missed in translation. And I think that's where a lot of the emotional roller coaster stuff comes in. He kind of almost misses that, I think. But yeah, so I've always looked at it, his diagnosis is a learning experience, and it's something that evolves on a daily basis. New things pop up every day, new symptoms pop up every day. It, you know, just stuff, you know. So, on that note, here comes the bus, finally. So, I guess I'll catch y'all in a little bit. Alright, yep, so little man's on the bus. He's on his way to school. I just managed to stop at the Wawa, get me my coffee and all that. So now I'm heading to work, and of course I'm like 5 minutes late now. But, you know, I've noticed, like, in the mornings, you know what, there's hardly anybody that goes in the mornings. The only people I'm usually ringing up is the coworkers, and that's pretty much it. So I don't think they like me making a habit of coming in late, but, you know, they're a little forgiving in that sense, because they all have kids. Most of them have kids, and, you know, they know how these buses run and stuff like that. I was actually just talking to the one owner, Paul, the other day. Not Paul, I'm sorry, my lie. That was Dave. And I asked him, I said, do you have a lot of problems with the bus showing up? He's like, you know, once in a while, he said, I do have issues. He's like, they'll show up sometimes like 20 minutes late, and then other days they're early. And I was like, yeah, I have the same issue. I said, you know, with living over, he's like, well, where do you live? And I said, Fairless Hills. He's like, oh, you're not that far. And I said, no. I said, about 10, 15 minutes, 20 with traffic, you know. And he's like, oh, he's like, so that's why you trail in late every few minutes, and every other day or so. And I was like, yeah. I said, you know, I'm kind of at the mercy of the bus. He's like, I get it, you know. So, I mean, they're very understanding in that fashion, which is nice. So, yeah, going to be almost getting into work soon, and I have a feeling it's going to be another long day. Hey, guys. All right, so I promised to show you some of the plants. And as I was starting the videotape, I get a phone call from school. So, yeah, he had a little bit of an episode today. So, I'm going to end up picking him up on the way home. I'll probably email the teacher and let her know I'll come and grab him up on my way home from work. Can't imagine what triggered him this time.
Seems like all these years didn't pass. We are dancing with the stars, and a piano plays inside of me the old melody for you. I can feel you staring at me the way you used to do, and it takes me back to these days. Remember
What's up, buttercups? It is Amy and
Yeah.
Jarrod Love. Mwah. What day is it?
Friday.
Friday. It's a Friday afternoon. And we are done the school and the work grind for the week and all that great stuff. Yay. So, yeah, Jarrod had a little incident at school. He was not happy, as you could tell, from the damage. Let me turn your head that way. As you can tell, all in here, that is from him pinching at his own skin to the point where he breaks the skin. Yeah, so that's what we dealt with today. And usually when he gets like that, that's when I'll just turn around and say that I will pick him up from school, because usually if he's having an afternoon like that, he's definitely not going to have a great afternoon on the bus if that's the case. So, you know, I just automatically will let them know that I'll come pick him up. Yeah, I also got changed and got my shoes off. I'm so thankful for getting my work shoes off and getting some flip-flops. And my feet air out and stretch. So, hey guys, all right. So, we are here down towards, I should say, the karate studio. And last time I went to pull out my little ticker thing. The BSC recommended starting to do like counting and stuff like that for as far as his the stimming and the stuff. Every time he has a behavior, to click it. I had a really nice metal one. Don't know what happened to it, but the thing won't click anymore. So yeah, so I got a new one, and I'm okay with it. It's like whatever it is, what it is. It's plastic. It's a plastic clicker. I like my metal one. And my metal one, I actually paid pretty damn good money for it. I just can't find it anymore. They paid $10 for a little plastic one. I was like, really? That's over here at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like, ew. So, yeah. Now we can count every time we got issues, right?
Right.
Every time you pinch, look. Every time you pinch, we count it. That's how we count it. Alright guys, yep, so we're done our lesson. He did very good. He was a good boy, did all he was supposed to be doing. So now we are gonna head back into my area. And he was very nice to let us know he can be there earlier. So now we're gonna make it a little earlier. We're gonna show up at 4 o'clock instead of 4:30. So at least it'll keep me out of rush hour traffic, which is nice. What do you want for dinner? Okay. What do you want to eat? Burger. Where are we going to go for a burger? Ugh, uneven pavement. I hate this stuff. But at least they're doing some road work here around this area. It was badly needed, especially on the road that I'm traveling on. So, yep. So we are now going to head to Wendy's, get our grub on. Starving. I know he's hungry. So, yeah. So we will go from there, and probably going to end up going home at that point. Because I know we're both tired. I'm exhausted after working all day. So, yeah. We're going to go get some grub. And I think that's probably going to be it for the night.